The stockings were hung on the vlog with care in hopes that JW soon would be there. I am here. I have arrived. It's the holiday season, and we're back with another pile of stuff. And what better than some random things? Most of them came out of the random treasure chest that you saw in one of the shorts. If you haven't seen that, we'll put the link right here so you can see that. These are things that were in there randomly. Like I explained in there, I don't have the room to display things. Some people just don't, but it shouldn't really hinder you from collecting. If you want to collect and store, that's perfectly fine. Now, there's a line between collecting and hoarding, but we're not really here to discuss that. But someone did make a comment, and I appreciate every comment there is, but saying, what's the point in collecting if it's all hidden away? Well, some people just can't afford the space to display. That's the sad truth of it is. But again, it should not hinder you from collecting. If it's piled up on your bathroom floor, that could be an issue. But again, that's hoarding, not collecting. Of course, this weekend was the Survivor Series. I know John Cena was involved, and I know there was another ruthless War Games match as part of it. But that's about all I know. So I hope everyone enjoyed that. Hope it was a great show for everyone involved. And I hope it was as good as 1991. I'm sure it wasn't, because in 1991, even though it's not my classic four, 87, 88, 89, and 90, as I said in the program, when I did the program, it's still in that era. It's still that era. And this is, it's a mini poster. Well, if you were around back then, you'll recall that you used to get cable bills in the mail, or maybe your parents did or what have you, and little ads like this were slid in there, and they made a nice collectible. And who would have known, right? And you can see some of the teams on the back, and these are fun. And really, I haven't priced them in ages, because I either had them from back when they were new out of the cable bills, or I got them in lots. But last I checked, they really weren't selling for all that much, and they're really cool. And there's WCW ones and WWF ones. There's a lot of different ones. So kind of a cool little collectible, and I could see someone actually like mounting these next to an action figure or something. But they're a lot of fun, and they're just little flyers, but they do look like mini posters. So there we go, 34 years ago with that. And going back 40 years, we found in the treasure chest the 1985 WWF calendar. The Hulkster there. And this is kind of fun because it's really a transition. It's totally, because you have Hulkster on the cover, of course, as the champ. You have a month there with TNT, shots from TNT in September. And then you actually have, someone who would not be there in 1985, Sergeant Slaughter. So it's a very fun calendar, very nice photography. Of course, as everything with the WWF, it was a class act as far as being the best in the business, because that's just how it was. They did the best merchandise. They had the shiniest, glossiest package and the shiniest, glossiest bodies. Let's put that one away. But from one hot wrestling body to another, we're going to talk about my girl, Sweet Sapphire. And this is actually something, this is an artifact. This is her business card. Yes, that's Juanita Wright's business card. And you can tell that it's probably, she did do independent gigs. She was in the USWA with Jackie Moore. And I'm sure she did other independent appearances, because you can tell, because she got the money bag on there. How cool is that, right? This is just one of my favorite things. I do have 2 Sapphire autographs. I like this just as much as the autographs. This is like how many of these really exist anymore? But there she is, Juanita Wright, Sweet Sapphire. And that is just, I love it. It's one of my favorite collectibles from the era, the Common Man, Dusty Rhodes era. It's just so unique, so fun. And as soon as I remembered that it was in a certain little nook in that treasure chest that I showed, I said, that's got to be in the pile of stuff. There she is, Sweet Sapphire. And going back to the WWF, but in 1994, one of my favorite, I like, as far as the Japanese wrestling memorabilia, of course I love the Japanese wrestlers, the Japanese legends, stars. I've shown so many of them here on the vlog. From Tenryu to Inoki to Baba to Liger, just Muda, so many of them. But being a WWF especially, I like when any of the American wrestlers are on the Japanese merchandise, because the Japanese merchandise is so nice. It's well done. It even was back when, like I said, WWF was only doing the really nice stuff in the 80s. Nobody else was, with exceptions. But in Japan, it was like the 70s, 80s. Everything was just really nice and quality. So I like finding the WWF logo and the stars on the Japanese items. And this is just one of my favorite. This is just the Weekly Gong magazine from 94. And it has a nice locker room group shot or press conference. It's probably a press conference from the WWF Mania Tour on the cover. And there you can see it. Doink and Dink and Tatanka and the Guns and Brett and Undertaker and Bob Backlund and Paul Bearer and Macho Man. And it's just such a fun, colorful time capsule of WWF at that time. It's just a lot of fun. I really like this one. And I do have at least one other copy of this. If anyone's interested, can reach out to me. I think there's probably a messaging thing on here. I mean, I'm on every social media. You can find me anywhere. I wouldn't put it in a comment. But if you reach out privately and you are interested in one of those, I could definitely help you out. And you know what? Like I said, it's the holiday season. And we started off with the stocking, and I showed it in the last short. And there it is, because people love the stocking. The Starrcade 1996 stocking. And this was just like the flyer. This was just like a cable company promo. This ain't your typical warm and fuzzy holiday special, is what it says on there with that later Starrcade logo. And it's just something that's so unique for someone like me who's big into Christmas stuff. Like, I wouldn't call myself a Christmas collector, but I have more Christmas stuff than I can fit into my house, which is a sad state of affairs in and of itself. Accumulated, because I'm not going to get rid of it. In addition to all the stuff that I do put up for no one to see, because I don't have people in my house. But maybe we'll sell tickets. But to create my own Wonderland, I do have a bunch of stuff, and I keep buying more. That's the problem, because I'll be in, Lowe's or Target or wherever, Walmart, and I'll say, oh, gotta have that. Because this is how I am. I don't have a big family. I don't have, the whole present thing is kind of like dead, and people are all like, oh, Christmas cards, they suck and all that. It's like, come on. If you don't like it, that's fine. Don't push it on me. We like Christmas, all right? But anyway, yeah, soapbox over. Holidays are here, right there, and I love the Starrcade stocking, and I did have another one, and it's gone, and somebody paid very nice for it. I got them both. They were like new. I don't even remember I got them. This has never been used. So, yeah, if you could find that person who has the other one, maybe you can buy it off of them, but I don't know who it is, so I don't remember. It was a while ago, but Starrcade stocking right there. So that's a pile of stuff. I'm sure we'll do another one before the holidays. There's so many wrestling holiday items out there. It just, they seem to coincide. Of course, back in the day, wrestling on Thanksgiving and Christmas was a huge deal. It was their biggest money-making nights of the year. Maybe it still should be. What do you think? What say you? Would you go to a wrestling event on Christmas or Thanksgiving night? I don't know that I would, because, again, I say it ad nauseum, but I'm just not connected to the product anymore. But would I go? Maybe. What do you think? tell us in the comments. Comment on any of these items. Comment on what you want to see here on the vlog, and as always, like and subscribe. That is your gift to me. Although I do accept PayPal and Venmo as well. See you soon.